Hi, Teresa here. I hope you're all keeping well today. And just before I start discussing my topic for today, I'd like to apologise for any background traffic noise. I'm working from home at the moment. I've moved my practice online temporarily because of the COVID-19 situation, and it's not quite as peaceful as at the clinic, but we can work with it. So I want to talk today about the fact I've had a couple of people contacting me in the last week or two saying, they're off cigarettes for years, happy out, didn't want to smoke, delighted they were finished with them. And out of nowhere, in the last couple of weeks, they've had the urge to smoke a cigarette. What'll I do? What's going on? So, a lot of you might be experiencing this, and there's a very simple reason for it. When we smoke, we plant a deep rooted false belief in our minds that we need cigarettes to relax because we create a stress with nicotine withdrawal, and then we stop that stress with nicotine, and that sends a signal to the brain that cigarettes relaxes. But it's a completely false belief because it's cigarettes that make us feel on edge in the first place. But that's a long, complex story, and we can leave it aside at the moment. I can't cover all of that in a short video. However, we have a deep-rooted false belief that cigarettes will soothe us. And it is false, and you can test that theory yourself by thinking of a bad time you've had in life, a stressful period, where you might have smoked 40 cigarettes in a day because you were having an awful time. I've done it. When there's a bereavement or a massive falling out or something awful has happened, I would smoke one cigarette after the other. When I came to the end of those days, when I look back now, I never ever thought, I'm so glad that I smoked 40 cigarettes. I feel so much better able to cope with the situation I'm in. I feel more at ease. In fact, I had a bad day still, but I also had a rotten taste on my tongue, and maybe I'd have a cough or a headache from smoking so much. So, no, they weren't offering me any real comfort, but I kept reaching for them, thinking they would help. So you can put cigarettes behind you for a long time and be happy about it. So you're living your life, all is fine and dandy, and then something occurs, a stressful situation. Now, the current situation that we're dealing with across the world with this COVID-19 crisis, it's strange territory. It's upheaval for a lot of people. It's worry, upset attached to it. So naturally enough, the brain is looking for comfort. It wants to relieve the stress that goes along with this strange landscape we're in at the moment. And so for an ex-smoker, sometimes that old false belief that has long since been dealt with will rear its head because the brain is desperately searching for comfort. What about a cigarette? Maybe if you have a fag, you'll feel better. So I've made this video to make you a solemn promise. And the promise I'm going to make you is that smoking will not relieve your stress. You will actually add more problems into what you're experiencing. So if you're feeling a bit down or worried or stressed about the situation that's going on at the moment, and now you reintroduce cigarettes into your life as well, you'll have the stresses that you're dealing with still, and also now you'll have the disappointment of being a smoker again. You'll be smoking them, and at first they'll make you feel a bit dizzy or sick even, and you'll be annoyed with yourself, but you're reaching desperately for something, so you'll be pulling away on them. And when people come to me after this has occurred, because it happens sometimes, I'll meet someone, I've been off the cigarettes for years, something happened and now I'm back on them, and I always ask this one question first: has reintroducing cigarettes into your life helped with what you're dealing with? And the answer is always unanimously no. No, it isn't. There's actually swear words generally involved, but we'll keep it professional today. But never has anyone come in and said, well, now that I have cigarettes again, I feel brilliant, but I know they're bad for me, so I need to stop. That doesn't happen. I can promise you, adding cigarettes into a stressful time will not bring relief. It'll bring disappointment, bad health, all that stuff. And at the moment, we really want to be looking after our lungs, so don't start punishing them with cigarettes in a desperate attempt to feel better. There are a myriad of things you can do to relieve stress. I can't cover them all in this video. I'll probably make something today actually to cover dealing with stress as well for my page. But just take comfort in the fact that remaining a non-smoker can be your silver lining during a bad time. You can think to yourself, I might be struggling, but at least I'm not smoking. I'm not punishing my body, hurting myself, and I've kept that together and I've done that for myself. I can promise you solemnly, cigarettes solve nothing. They only create new problems. So stay smoke free and look after yourselves, look after each other, follow the HSE guidelines that we're all being given at the moment, and hopefully the stress will lessen soon. We'll be back to some kind of normality, and maybe we'll have even learned some valuable lessons about what's really valuable in life. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. But in the meantime, mind yourselves, take care, and I'll speak to you soon.